إِلَّا وَأَنْتُمْ مُسْلِمُونَ. O believers, be mindful of God in the way that He deserves, and do not die except in a state of full submission to Him. You see, God is the one who's always on time. I know we was a little late today, but it's just a reminder. God is always on time. The sun comes up when God wants it to come up, and it's all we can depend on it. We know they have projections to know right now when the sun is going to rise 50 years from now, because God has never been off time. Never has He been off time. That when we are born into this world, we are on time. When God causes us to leave this world, it's on time. When the sun rises and when the sun sets, it's on time. All of us right now, whether we realize it or not, our heart is beating. Our heart is beating right now. It's on time. And if it's not on time, we know what that's on. We know what we could expect. Hey, like half your side of your face, everything fall down there. That's a problem in your body. So God is always on time. When we breathe, we don't recognize that we're breathing right now. You see all of the things that are happening to us that we're not even cognizant of, yet God has full control over that. That's why it's so important to obey God. When He says, Mary, Mary, you don't know better than God, and He created you. How can you know better than the one who has created you? So anytime somebody asks, well, why should I get married? Why should I? Try living your life that way. Not just in marriage. Try living your life without social bonds. Try living your life without business bonds, contracts. You won't grow. And God wants us to know that He is behind it all. I'll read this last verse and then I'll speed it up. I said, please. The breeze on came down, devil. It was hot at first. He says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ittaqullaha wa qulu qawlan sadida. O believers, be mindful of God and say what is right. Say what is right. Now, we all know how important it is, whenever you establish in social bonds, how important it is to say what is right. Now, there's an issue on how we say it. That's an issue sometimes. Wait, how we say it is an issue.
I agree. Yeah.
But He always say what's right. Sometimes we had difficulty. I don't like the way He said that to me. I don't like the way He said that to me. But what did He say though? You see? So God says, speak a word. Say what is right. Say what is right. And then in our tradition with the prophet, he exemplified not just what to say, not how to say what's right, but the way in which you should say it. Because the point is to hold together and to keep those social bonds tight. So truth sometimes could come real hard and it can be real hurtful. That if a person is not ready for it, they go running. But that does not mean that it wasn't the truth. You see that? You see how truth also goes with mercy? You see the bonding between truth and mercy? If you got too much mercy and no truth, what happens to the kids? What happens to the community? Too much love and no truth. They be on the field all day, frolicking. Doing what they want to do. Right. But what's the truth? What needs to be said? And then sometimes you give them too much truth, but no mercy. What happens? So you got to have the balance. So there's going to be times where our sister Nafisa is going to say some things that are true. And our brother, my father, may not, he may say, well, hold on now. I hear what you're saying, but Watch how you saying it. You see? And vice versa. I know you're going to hit plenty of time. You're going to say something. Give you your hands up. They ain't asking for marriage counseling. Give your hands up. Plenty of time you say, well, man, you saying the right thing, Mom. Watch how you say it.
That's right.
So we got to be cognizant that everything that God has created, He has created it in pairs. Everything. Sometimes you can be too hot. Another person may be too cold. But if you got respect for each other, then you got a warm environment. I told you I was going to not take this long. So, I do want to kind of speak some things. I think that we get the point. How important marriage is. I think we get there. But I can't overemphasize it enough. That we got the whole world working against us right now. The whole world is ensuring that this never happens. And they'll take somebody who's rightly and justly for you and turn them against you. And somebody who's fiercely your enemy and make them your friend. This is the time that we live in. So let's be mindful of it. Let's love each other and let's always speak a word that is right. Now, let's get to the official part to bring this all together. Have backup so I can bring it, y'all. Okay. So we know that we're here today to not only witness, but to also celebrate this marriage and this union, this social bond and social contract between Muhammad Abdul Malik and our sister Nafisa Fudaya. And I want to follow the tradition of our prophet to Muhammad, who showed us the way, when and how to marry a person. And a part of that is, I want to first ask if you had offered her, no, not if you offered her, but if you asked for her hand in marriage,
Yeah.
you have. And two, if you've provided a dowry,
Yeah.
okay. And has a dowry, Nafisa, been accepted? Okay. All right, and everybody here is a witness to me. So we said we two, we got a whole group here. Okay. So I'm going to ask you this. Do you, Muhammad Abdul Malik, take Nafisa Fudaya to be your wife in accordance with the laws of the Quran and the life and tradition of Muhammad the Prophet?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Did everybody hear that?
Yes,
Okay.
I louder next time.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you 3 times. So that's one time. I got 24. Do you, Muhammad Abdul Malik, take Nafisa Fudaya to be your wife in accordance with the laws of the Quran and the life and traditions of Muhammad the Prophet?
Yes, I do. Now hear that?
Do you, Muhammad Abdul Malik, take Nafisa to be your wife in accordance with the Quran and the life traditions of Muhammad the Prophet?
Yes, I do.
Right. Okay, let's see if we can keep it consistent. Sister Nafisa, do you take Muhammad Abdul Malik to be your husband in accordance with the Quran and the tradition of Muhammad the Prophet?
Yes.
Right. Do you, and I'm saying this 3 times if you haven't noticed that. Do you, Sister Nafisa, take Muhammad Abdul Malik to be your husband in accordance with the Quran and the life of Muhammad the Prophet?
Yes.
And for the final time. Do you, Nafisa, take Muhammad Abdul Malik to be your husband in accordance with the Quran and the life traditions of Muhammad the Prophet?
Yes.
Takbir. 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 Right, I want everybody to hold. We have a little rings. So for that ring security. Our cameraman. Okay, here you go, right there. Okay, hold 1 second. Let our cameraman get set up. That's important. Okay, so we're going to exchange both rings. Let's start off with those. For that, hold the case. Hold the case.
That's right.
Oh, that's
It's shining way over here.
Oh, that's real.
And we want everybody to hold their seats too because we have a special program right after this.
Thanks, Jay.
Okay. You
Oh, y'all were nice. Oh, stop. Beautiful.